Hello, hello, people of Earth. This is Dax, and this video is going to be about consciousness. All consciousness really means is just being aware. A lot of people kind of take it to the extreme, like, or the ones that consider themselves conscious, they're like, well, I'm this really deep thinker. When all it really means is just aware. Even the biggest dummy has some type of awareness. So really, typically, everybody is conscious, but you gotta. This is where you have to go into the context of the word. Well, when people really say conscious, they're really talking about being aware and going underneath the surface. But I guess one of the biggest problems with consciousness that you have what they call a conscious community, and so what happens is they invent this monolith. I mean, it doesn't necessarily per se align with the conventional thought of society or the rules or structures that would make most people normal. But it becomes a monolith. Like, in other words, I'm trying to say, be careful of, quote, being conscious, because it's another form of groupthink. I think true consciousness is when you critically analyze. Critically analyze things objectively, and you come up with your own conclusions. Just in a nutshell. So, you come up with your own conclusions, then, and you're not thinking in a monolithic way. Kudos. I mean, I can give you like two examples, because then you got like a spiritual consciousness. And I don't necessarily agree with this type of consciousness, but I've heard it. It'll say something like we're light beings, and we were put on earth by a spiritual contract, and once you incarnate into a human body, that you forget who you are because you have some type of past life regression. So once you enter into this body, then you forget who you are. But as you grow older, bits and pieces of those memories come back. So they're really saying that you choose the people that are in your life, you choose your family. And this is before you get to the earth realm. I used to, when I started my conscious journey, I used to agree with that, but I work with more tangibility. If I don't see it, or if I don't think that there's no way to prove it, then I don't agree with it. Then being black, you hear about black consciousness. So black consciousness is pretty much, they talk about, white supremacy, and they ask questions like, are all white people racist? And then they come to conclusions like, well, all white people are suspect racists. So there's this whole science behind it. But then again, to me, racism it's something you can't really measure. Only way you can tell if a person is really like racist is either by their actions or if you yourself jump inside of their heads. So it's something that's really hard to measure because it's intangible. But other things in black consciousness are like, hey, you need to only support black businesses. You don't need to be dating outside your race. You date within your race, because to date within your race is loving yourself. And if you date outside your race, then you hate yourself or you have low self-esteem. I think the logic is stupid, because I'm black and I could be with somebody else that's black and still have low self-esteem. But I'm just mentioning two streams of consciousness. Now there's all other types of conscious thinking, but those are the main two that are floating around on social media. Well, anyway, that's my deal with consciousness. Don't let it become your new groupthink. And the message I want to drive is think for yourself. Well, signing off, Earth people. It's Big Dax from Stop 6, Fort Worth, Texas. Residing in Sherman right now, but hey, y'all take care of yourselves. Peace.